morning, tennis fan, and welcome to the 6th edition of U.S. Open Morning Drive presented by Mercedes-Benz. I'm Kevin alongside Mal. And Mal, last night in the evening session, as Rafael Nadal looked to make the second week here at the U.S. Open for the first time since he won the title in 2013, he accomplished just that. And now he's won 25 of his last 27 matches here. He moves into the round of 16. But perhaps even bigger story on the women's side. The chase for number one continues. Angelique Kerber, the number 2 seed, picked up her 50th match win of the year. Nobody else has 40.
Well, she's playing some tremendous tennis right now. She took on Cici Bellis in that match last night. Cici Bellis actually played some very good tennis, but she was just overmatched. I'm really curious as to whether or not Cici Bellis is going to turn pro or go to Stanford University. But Kerber is really proving why she is this close to taking over the number 1 spot from Serena Williams.
She has been very impressive in the opening 3 rounds. Well, Kerber is chasing world number 1 Serena Williams, and aside from the campaign for her 23rd major, Serena is now trying to write another historical footnote. She's currently tied with Martina Navratilova with 306 match wins at majors. That's the most for women in the Open era. If she wins, she ties Roger Federer with 307, most all time.
At what point is enough records enough for one person? She just keeps breaking record after record, but it's really a tribute to what she is able to do. She's playing some really good tennis right now. I think she really wants that 23rd major. I personally think she's going to beat Margaret Court and eventually get to 25 majors. But in her match today against Larson, I think in that match it's really going to be about showing her presence, letting Larson feel her presence out on the court. Regardless of what happens, Larson is going to reach a career high, but Serena Williams thrives in situations like this, where she's going up against a lesser-ranked player in a big occasion on a big court from the very first point. I think you're going to see the intensity of Serena.
We'll see if Serena Williams can indeed accomplish that and get to the second week. Meanwhile, flying somewhat under the radar, though she is the 4 seed here, Agnieszka Radwanska continues to move through. She is now on a 6-match win streak. She goes up against French woman Caroline Garcia.
Well, I think one of the challenges for Garcia coming into this match is can she get off to a fast start? In her previous 2 matches, she lost the first set 6-4. She can't afford to get off to a slow start. About Radwanska, she has an opportunity if she wins this tournament, if she has a good fall. She has an opportunity, though it be outside, to become number 1 in the world. She's never gotten to that point, and I would love to see her move back to where she was a couple of years ago, where she was really pushing for that 1-2 spot. She's had a couple of years where she hasn't gone deep into the tournament, especially here at the U.S. Open. So if she can get into the 4th round, I think it's really taking a step forward towards taking over that number 1 spot, or at least pushing for it.
Agnieszka Radwanska did win the final warm-up for the U.S. Open in New Haven a week ago, but she has lost 1 match to Caroline Garcia. It did come on a hard court, so a little bit of intrigue left for that match. Well, Stan Wawrinka is back once again. He's trying to get through to the second week here at the U.S. Open for a 5th consecutive year, and he goes up against one of the 3 players for the new British invasion, Daniel Evans.
And Daniel Evans is playing some good tennis right now. This is actually the 2nd consecutive tournament, going back to Wimbledon as well, where he has reached the 3rd round of a major. But I think for him, he's going to be overmatched. He's not a big guy. He stands at 5'9", and when you think about Stan Wawrinka, he hits a ball about as big as anyone on tour. He loves playing on the hard courts. I've always wondered, and he's won Roland Garros, he's won Australian Open. I've always wondered, why hasn't he been able to win this championship? This might be one of the best opportunities he has to win this championship. I expect he's going to get through pretty comfortably over a very good player in Evans.
Yeah, he has reached the 4th round or second week here for 4 consecutive years. He goes for 5 today. Well, from Stan Wawrinka to talking about a former junior champion here, Grigor Dimitrov won this event as a junior in 2008, but he's had a bit of a slide of late, starting to rise and back up. He's taking on Portugal's João Sousa. Their 3rd meeting, they split the first 2.
Well, I think what Dimitrov is facing right now is what a lot of players face. They have a nice rise when they first come on the tour, but then the expectations and the pressure of professional tennis gets to him a little bit. But I've been impressed about what Dimitrov has been able to do here in 2016. He's had a title win. He's playing very good tennis. He's been in the semifinals of Wimbledon before. I would love to see him go deep into the second week. He has the game to do it. He has that all-around game off the backhand, the forehand. He has the ability to come into the net and has a very, very good serve. His game is suited to succeed at the U.S. Open. He needs to try to do it this year.
Their only previous meeting at a major had Dimitrov and Sousa battling 5 sets here at the U.S. Open back in 2003. Perhaps we're in for another good one. Well, let's talk about the qualifiers on the men's side, and there is just one left. Jared Donaldson, who took out David Goffin early in the tournament, now has a tall order, and the prospect of Dr. Ivo Karlovic, and maybe for the American, a chance to sneak into the second week for the first time.
And what an opportunity for Gerald Donaldson. He comes into this U.S. Open having to qualify, having never won a match in the main draw of an Open before, of any Grand Slam actually, and now he finds himself in the third round. And if you had told him before the championship, you'll be in the third round with an opportunity to play Ivo Karlovic to get to the second week of a major, I think he would have taken that in a heartbeat. But Karlovic, he's a player, 61 aces in a recent match. That's amazing. But as his serve goes, so does his game. I think it's going to be very important that he continues to serve very, very well. He's going to have the edge, but the crowd is going to be with Donaldson. And I talked to Taylor Dent about this match, Donaldson's coach. He says he's playing very, very well. They're prepared. They have a game plan, so expect it to be a very tight match.
Well, we've been asking you for your questions and sending the hashtag MBDrive, and we have a question from @S_Womack, who wants to know, can the two-time champion Rafael Nadal make it 3 in New York and go all the way?
Well, can he? Yes, he can. Is it likely that he's going to make it a third championship here at the U.S. Open? No, primarily because of the players that he's going to have to get through. Potentially Novak Djokovic in the semifinal, Andy Murray in the final. I honestly do not think he can get through both of them, but he has a great run through to the semifinal right now. I expect him to get there, but maybe not beyond that.
Well, whether he can win another title here, don't know, but he does look good to get to the quarterfinals as Nadal beat Pouille in their last meeting 6-2, 6-1, and the Frenchman, well, he's had to endure 2 5-set matches just to get to the second week. That's going to do it for our morning drive. Once again, don't forget to send your Twitter questions so that Mal or Todd Martin can answer them with the hashtag MBDrive. But for now, that's the end of our 6th edition. We hope to see you next time. So long from New York.